Hello my crafty peeps, it's Cheyenne from ecdesignstudio.com. We've got another Halloween one-sheet wonder card for you today. We're going with the jar of eyeballs. Yep, no peeled grapes here. We're committing. So alright, things you're going to need to make this card. Standard A2 size Whisper White top fold card. It's a normal thing. You guys have to have known this was coming. So you got that. You need a piece of 4 by 5 1/4 pumpkin pie cardstock, 3 1/4 by 4 1/4 basic black cardstock. Need a 3 by 4 piece of your one sheet wonder cardstock. This was Halloween Night DSP. Pretty sure that's what it was. A piece of 2 1/2 by 2 cardstock. Actually, I'm not even sure we are going to need this in the final one. Alright, half scrap pieces of black standing by. And a piece of 4 by 2 1/4 piece of Whisper White cardstock. This is like the minimum size that you're going to need. It's just a scrap piece to die cut the jar and the sentiment with. So you're going to need your medium size jar from Jar of Love, the everyday jar kits, and I don't know what size this one is. They don't come labeled, alas, but just make sure it's going to fit around your happy Halloween sentiment. This is from the Tags and Framelits and Tags and Labels Framelits set. Let's see, we're also going to be using the Jar of Haunts stamp set, so we're going to use the jar, the eyeballs, and the goo stuff. We're also going to be using the candy cone and the Happy Halloween. From the Sweet Home set, we're just going to be using the spider webs over here. That's it for that one. Mostly, this is a Jar of Haunts card. Stamp pads, you're going to need Wild Wasabi and Soft Sky. Your archival basic black and pumpkin pie. And I'm going to be using some markers. So we've got Emerald Envy, Dapper Denim, and Chocolate Chip. This is to color in our eyeballs with realistic type colors. Then Wild Wasabi, this is what we're going to be coloring in the slime with. Cherry Cobbler for our veining on the eyeballs. And a little bit of Elegant Eggplant, just to go around the edges of our sentiment. These markers are such a good investment. Don't hesitate to buy the big kit that they have. They're worth it. You can stamp with them, you can write with them, you can probably do calligraphy with them if you're really into that. Alright, so let's do our stamping first. Right after I get all my post-it notes off. Those are not going to add anything to the finished card. Alright, so we've got our piece of pumpkin pie cardstock, and we're going to have the candy corn stamp from the Jar of Haunts set, and we are going to stamp this all around using pumpkin pie ink. So that's just going to give a nice little kind of a tone-on-tone sort of look. And because these are, they're kind of like right on top of each other anyway, you don't have to worry too much about getting it too precise. You know, if you happen to overlap everything a little bit, it's alright. Because nobody's going to look that hard at the background paper. So this part's done. I'm setting it aside. Now we need our little piece of scrap Whisper White. Alright, let's start off with the jar. So, alright, best way I found to get these onto the block without warping, set them down and then put the block over them. That way they kind of like get their shape back and they don't get all distorted. Alright, got our soft sky. Got a good stamp, and there we go. There is our little jar. Isn't that so cute? Now it's time to make it a little creepy. Alright, soft sky is done. We'll see you later. Archival basic black. And ink up those eyeballs. Just try to line it up side to side. Now the nice part about this is you can, do it anywhere along the jar. Just keep in mind that you're going to have the little drippy bits coming down, so leave room for the drippy bits. Alright. It's not the best stamped impression, but I can live with it. Like, you're looking through a jar, so I mean, okay. Alright, we'll put basic black aside, but we're going to need that again, so don't put it too far away. Now our wild wasabi with our little drippy gooey stuff. You're going to line this up at the top, and my head might be in this. And now we have our creepy gooey slime. And let's go ahead and stamp our Happy Halloween. So we're going to need that pumpkin pie back again. I'm very much looking forward to Thanksgiving and pumpkin stuff. I like pumpkin. Alright, so we're going to stamp that. Now when you're stamping all of this, just keep in mind that we're going to have, we're die cutting, so leave room around the edges for the die cut bit. Oh, alright. Let's go ahead and color while we're at it. So our wild wasabi, Stampin' Right. Pick up our marker side. Actually, here, let me just show you this. And our little jar, and our Happy Halloween. And just color in the slime with the wild wasabi, having the pear pizzazz. Pear pizzazz. Color in with pear pizzazz. Having the wild wasabi as the line and coloring in with pear pizzazz, it gives it, a little bit of shading almost. Makes it kind of glow, so you're getting, the definition between the jar and the slimy goo, but it's not too light. You can see it. You see? Yeah. It's just kind of one of them things. Alright, there's that. Now I'm going to take Emerald Envy, Dapper Denim, and Chocolate Chip and just color in some of the eyeballs. And I'm just doing like little lines because I don't want it to be too solid. So I'm just drawing lines connecting from the pupil to the end of the iris. Always knew that my anatomy and physiology class would come in handy someday. Who would have thought it would be, coloring eyeballs in a jar. Alright, and a chocolate chip. There we go, there's that part. Now let's take the cherry cobbler marker, and we're using, the pen size for all of this. And these eyeballs, they have like a couple little lines that are like coming up and down. Just kind of go over those a little bit. That's going to be kind of like the veining that's happening. Not that these eyeballs look that realistic, but it'll kind of help with all of that. It's all the little touches. All the little touches. Alright, so that is it for all of that. Oh, one more thing to stamp. We're going to need our spider web from the Sweet Home set and our basic black. And on our piece of DSP, the One Sheet Wonder one, we're just going to stamp the spider web in each of the corners. Now, this is not a perfect 90-degree angle for this spider web. How many spider webs are really? So keep that in mind as you're lining things up. If you try to, line it up perfectly with the corner, your ends are going to end up over your DSP, which, could work too. Gives it more of a natural look when it's heading over the edges. But I wanted all of mine to be within it. Alright, so that is it for the Stampin'. So we'll push all of this stuff aside so we can pull out the big shot. Now, there we go, magnetic base plate, because we're using our frameless cutting pad. These end up looking very well loved, don't they? Your piece of stamped paper, line up your little framelit. Your label framelit, because they actually have tags. And then your medium jar. Alright, if you're having problems getting your framelits to, stick like a magnet, try flipping your cutting plate over. As you use them, they do start to kind of, curve, get a C curve to them. So sometimes you just need to flip them over so that it's not curving up so much that the magnet cannot work. It's not strong enough. Alright, there we go. Oh, the wonderful noises that the big shot can make sometimes. There we go. And we're done with the big shot. Here we have our little pieces. Put all this stuff aside. Alright, let's take our little Happy Halloween sentiment. We're going to use the brush side of our Elegant Eggplant marker and just go around the edges. This is going to be something that's really subtle, but it will kind of separate it from the background just a little bit. Alright, now it's time to put everything together. So grab your snail adhesive and your dimensionals and all of your bits and pieces. Alright, our A2 card. We've got our candy corn stamped pumpkin pie piece. We're just going to center that up. There we go. Our piece of, actually let's put the DSP on to the piece of basic black. There we go. And now that we've got that, we're going to kind of center it on the vertical, but bring it up a little bit on the horizontal to have room for your sentiment to pop up. Alright, everything else we're using dimensionals for. So get a couple dimensionals on the back of your jar. I'm going to place this relatively in the center, but again keep in mind that your sentiment's going to kind of go on the bottom. So maybe a little, high in the center. And then we've got our sentiment. That'll go down right here. Alright, and that's all there was to that card. You see, there we go. We've got our creepy jar o' eyeballs Halloween cards. This one's, pretty quick and easy. This is something that you can definitely, mass produce and, even have your kids help color in the eyeballs and the slime. Bet they would love that. Alright, so that's it for today's card. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked what you saw, please remember to like and subscribe. Visit my website for a full list of products used in this video and links to my online store where you can purchase them. Thank you again. Happy creating and crafting. Bye!